I'll jump in here. EJ, what was the decision-making process like where DJ Johnson was concerned?
Yeah, well, the first thing I would say is I just want to thank him publicly just for all his hard work and effort that he's given over the last couple of years, and I've really enjoyed coaching DJ. And when you talk about somebody that gave his heart and soul and whatever he was asked to do, he did it and gave his best effort at all times. And so I'm really appreciative of our time together. This is the nature of the beast, though. We're always constantly evaluating what we're doing, personnel-wise and scheme-wise, and so that was the decision that was made collectively, and we're moving forward.
We'll go with Julian Council, followed by Cass.
Hey, EJ, hope you're doing well this morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Tyreek Hill, obviously done for the season there for Miami. Just kind of curious, just game plan wise. I suppose it's never easy to game plan, but with him no longer a part of the equation, kind of how does that change things for you guys? And there's any sort of benefit to be able to see them in the second half without him?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, and my heart goes out to him because this in this community in the NFL, you don't want to ever see anybody go through an injury like that, and we're certainly praying for his speedy recovery. But he's a tremendous player, obviously one of the very best players in this league, and so it's hard to say that there will be better without him. But we know for certain that they still have plenty of weapons. This team has got a lot of very, very fast guys. At the receiver position, at the running back position. And, they've got Waller at the tight end back now at the tight end position. And so they've got plenty of weapons. And we know it's going to be this is going to be a challenging team to defend on Sunday.
And we have seen this season where the tight ends on opposing teams have had a level of success. Now, Darren Waller played pretty well on Monday against the Jets. What kind of challenges he present in particular, and why do you think you guys have had kind of struggles in that department so far this year?
Yeah, no, I played against him multiple times over his career, and he's an excellent player. The ability to stretch the field from that tight end position, he could come in and out of his breaks. Obviously, he can catch the ball. He's a big target down in the red zone, and I've got a lot of respect for this player. And he's a tough matchup, really, for any team. And so we know we got our work cut out for us in terms of how do we keep him under control. But in terms of the tight ends that we've played this year, we've had some guys that have had some success. And to your point, that's just something that we need to focus in on and make sure that those pass targets that the offense is really trying to attack, that we got to make sure that we're mindful of how the offense is going to use them.
Thanks.
Hey, EJ, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Continuing on Waller, I mean, this is a guy that's only had one game with them, hasn't played in a year. Do you go back and watch a lot of Giants film and sort of marry that with the Dolphins scheme? Like, how do you game plan when you've only got one game?
Well, Coach McDaniels has history, obviously, with high caliber tight ends. They had Jonnu Smith last year. They had Kittle when he was with his time in the Niners, and so he's very versed in how to deploy those guys. And so we understand that. And I think with any player, you're always looking back for your individual studies, like whoever's matched up on them. How did this guy run his routes? What are the keys and tells that we may gain from just watching his individual cuts? And so, we'll certainly go back to his previous stops and just kind of get more of a sense of him as an individual player.
Jeff Hawkins, followed by Joe Person.
Hey, good morning, Coach.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. I was just calling. Sorry, I was just wondering if you were concerned about the lack of QB pressure that the ends are generating.
Yeah, no, it's we certainly got to affect the quarterback more. That's that's very obvious, and we need to figure out a way schematically and in terms of playing better. It's a collective effort in terms of getting that done, and so that's certainly on the forefront of our minds. And the biggest thing that we just got to continue to do is just get ourselves in those situations where we can open up the playbook to more of our pressure packages, allowing those guys to cut loose on the rush plan. And so I still going to be a big key is going to be, stopping a run on early downs and getting to those favorable D&Ds.
EJ, we had Dave talking to us about how you guys sort of had the brainstorming session and really dove in on the first 4 games. What did you come up with defensively, the areas that you feel like most need attention and possibly even some personnel tweaks?
Yeah, I don't want to. That's a good question, Joe, and I don't want to get too much into the details just from a competitive advantage situation. But yeah, no, we certainly. It's always good to kind of go back and get that clarity in terms of like how you're being attacked, where we're strong, where we need to improve, those type of things. And so, yeah, it was a lot of good information that we've gathered, and it's really something that we do on a week-to-week basis, anyways. But when you have a bigger sample size, it's in terms of 4 games. It paints a really good picture, and we know that there's areas, especially when it look at big plays, that we need to improve at, and so those are things that we got to address schematically, technique-wise, execution-wise, and so that's what we're working towards.
Julian asked you about Waller a minute ago. What has been the issue with defending tight ends, especially the first couple weeks of the season?
I mean, there's multiple. It might be losing a one-on-one. It might be a communication thing. But hey, it really doesn't matter. We gotta get it fixed. And so it's out there that we haven't done a great job in that area. But it's also a great opportunity for us to show growth and improvement.
Thank you.
Darren Gant.
Yeah, Brad was talking earlier today about sort of that first 4 weeks, looking back at it and the idea of focus and refocus. How would you describe the conversations among your guys between plays? Like when the offense is on the field and your guys are on the sidelines, what are those conversations like?
Yeah, those conversations typically in between series, we're on the bench. All the players are with their position coaches. And there's communication on the headsets between myself and the coaches. We're going through all the still shots and making the adjustments needed from the previous series. And maybe it might be a deal where we get a tendency over the course of a handful of series that we need to make an adjustment to. But those are typically the conversations. We're generally focused not so much on what's happening on the field, as opposed to we don't have a lot of time. We need to make sure that schematically, adjustment-wise, all those things that we're getting the information to the players are absorbing it. So when we go back on the field, we're ready to go.
From your perspective, how much variance is there, or how much can you change during that time when you're trying to get that schematic stuff in and bounce back from one thing or the other?
Yeah, it's certainly not going to be a matter of like changing your game plan. It's more tweaks within like, okay, we're going to run the same calls, but we might have a slight front adjustment or something coverage-wise that is a little bit different just based on what we're getting. So much of the game these days too is you go in preparing for something, but you have to be ready to adjust because a lot of times you're going to be getting unscouted looks, and those are where those key adjustments are needed.